Right.
I'll go and get them.
Hello everyone.
Fact.
I'm doing this because the other one, the live. Oops, sorry about that. The live stream wasn't working. I don't know what was wrong with the camera. It was just going blocky, and I won't tolerate that. So what I'm doing now is showing you what I did try to show you last night. Tunisian crochet cross stitch. These are my blocks. The reason I like Tunisian crochet cross stitch, she says with the mouthful, is because no bobbins. No bobbins whatsoever when you're doing your graph gowns and stuff like that. So that's why I personally like it. But other people are different. They do like their bobbins and they do like other ways of doing their graph gowns. But everybody is different, and that's what makes the world go round. Anyway, these are my blocks so far, what I've done. There you go, nothing on the back. The only thing that's showing on the back is my border, and that's because I put it there and I prefer this border, and I don't mind that showing. That's front post double crochet, front post triple crochet, and front post and half double crochet, and those are US terms. So those are those. I absolutely love the effect and the neatness it gives. So that's that. I use 100% acrylic double knit yarn. That is, I think, 8 ply in Australia and category 3, I think, in US. It recommends a 4mm hook. Now I'm using a 3.5 because my tension's really loose and it doesn't look like the cross stitching. You have to use the hook, it says, for your cross stitch on your yarn to be able to get the same coverage, and you have to use the same weight yarn you're using for the Tunisian cross stitch. So for the cross stitch you have to use the same yarn weight as you do for the Tunisian simple stitch, so it gives it a better image, and you always cross stitch the same way so they are in uniform and look better, if you can see. The hook I use is a 3.5mm, as I said, and it's an aluminium one. I prefer that one, that's just me. I have got what you say in America, Knitter's Prize. They're called Knit Pro in UK. I've got a pack of these, as you can see. They all come with your extensions and everything to go with it. They are nice, not going to deny that, but I just prefer the aluminium ones, so that's just me. Anyway, I did start something just to show you. This is the single crochet cross stitch. I used a 3.5 normal crochet hook. I've done this 75 stitches across. This is only 50 with a border, so that's 60, and this is 75 stitches. So that's the single crochet look compared, let's see if I can get a better look at that, compared to the Tunisian crochet. So there you go. But that's the back of the Tunisian crochet. Oops, sorry. And this is the back of the single crochet. Now I'd have to literally cover this with something. I couldn't leave it unless you're not fussy. Then fair dues, you carry on, you knock yourself out. You do what you're comfortable with. But that so far I was trying to do a block just to show you the difference. So that's that one. I was going to show you something else, but I completely forgot. This is the block I'm working on at the moment, and this is the block I'm going to show you how to cross stitch on. This is my next block, as you can see. I will do a bit now with you. Sure, I forgot something, but I'm sure you remember and ask me, or Sherry. Anyway, here we go. Now I'm going to point this out. I have tried holding the yarn in my left hand. I can't do it. I was a knitter before I was a crocheter, and my mum taught me to hold the yarn in my right hand. I am right-handed, and I hold the yarn and the hook in the same hand, so I do apologise about that. So you just make your slip knot, pop it in. Oh, sorry, I got the camera in between me. I do apologise. So you've got a better view than what I've done before. So I'm just going to do basic way of showing you. This might be a pretty boring long video. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you've chained 10. I always recommend people doing a swatch before they doing this one, so they know, say 10 stitches by 10 rows, and do a bit of cross stitching on it, and so you know what coverage you're getting with that hook. If you need to go down a hook, go down. If you need to go up, go up. It saves a lot of heartache after, believe me. Once you've done your chain, you go back and slip stitch all your chains on. Attach all your chains to your hook, like so. Once again, I do apologise if people get confused with me holding my yarn in my right hand. There you go, that's the last one. Now what we do in here now is at the end, you always only go over one. It's like a chain up row, and then the rest you go through 2. Always at that end. I always call it a chain up row, but people call it different, and it's always the same. You just go through 1 and that's it, and then the rest you go through 2. Always at that end, nowhere else. You go through 1, go through 2, go through 2. Yep, don't want to go over. Go through 2. Getting it close on the lamp. Hang on. Go through 2. Go through 2. Go through 2. Go through 2. And go through 2. Now for the borders, I've done a Tunisian purl stitch. The reason I do borders at the bottom and in each side is just to stop the work from curling, and it saves adding anything after. So this is why I do this. Sherry recommends about 3 to 5 rows. That's all, nothing special, just to stop it. Now what you do is you bring your yarn forward, and on not your first stitch, because that's that stitch there, on your vertical bars, oh, dropped in, you're picking up your vertical bars. I don't know if you can see, don't know what's wrong with my camera lately. I do apologise, people. See all your vertical bars there? That's your first one. You do not pick up your first one. You go straight to your second one now, because your first one's attached to that stitch. So you bring your yarn forward, you stick it under the vertical bar, you wrap it round that way, and you bring it through like so. And that's your first purl. Now we're going to bring it forward, go under the vertical bar, wrap it round, grab the yarn and bring it through. That's another purl. And we're going to do this all the way across like so. Under the vertical bar, bring it forward, bring your yarn forward, under the vertical bar, wrap it round, bring the yarn through, bring the yarn forward, onto the vertical bar, bring it through. There you go, that's it. You've got all your purls and you're doing fab so far. And that's that. That's all you're doing, all across. Now, when you get to the last stitch, because you've done your last vertical bar that way, and then you've got the end bit here, you keep the yarn at the back. You never pull the end stitch. Keep the yarn back, and you can see like an end vertical bar there. Now I go through like it creates a chain at the top like so. You go through the chain, I'll see it goes slantwards, so you like to keep it nice and straight and vertical. So you go through the chain at the top, bring your yarn round and pull that forward, and that's your purl row. Now to get back, all you do, you remember the end stitch, that one there, go through one like so, always at this end, never anywhere else, only at this end. Just go through one, then you always go through two like so, go through two, 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 and that is your purl row, as you can see. Now say you've done all your purl rows you want to do, 5, 10, 15, 20, how many you're going to do. Now you're going to do your borders and your Tunisian. So say you've done your border, you just bring the yarn forward. I'll just do two. You grab that stitch there, not the first one where this one's attached to, but that one there. You got your yarn forward, and that's it. That's all you've done. You've done your first purl. Bring your yarn forward, and that's your second purl. Now people never count, if you're doing the cross stitch, your first and your last stitches, because you can't cross stitch over those vertical bars. So you when you're doing your chain, you do the amount you need plus 2. That's the way we do it. So now you've done your border, say, and now you're going to do your bit in the middle, your Tunisian simple stitch. You keep your yarn at the back, you go under the next vertical bar and just wrap it round, like so. Under the next vertical bar and wrap it round, like so. Let's see if it's better without the light on. No? Is that better? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with my camera lately. I do apologise. Is that better? I don't know. So, is that up? Yeah. And then you go back under the vertical bar there, wrap it round and put it through. 1, 2, 3 left, and I've done 1, 2, 3 there. So you're going under the last vertical bar of your Tunisian simple stitch and bring it up like so. Now you bring your yarn forward for your border and you do your purl stitch under the vertical bar and put it through. Bring the yarn forward under the vertical bar and pull it through. And then on your last stitch, remember you've got that vertical bar on the end, but you're going through actually the chain stitch itself. Wrap the yarn round and bring it through. And then you go through 1. It's like a chain up. You go through 1. You go through 2. Always 1 at that end, and then the rest is going through 2 to the end. Go through 2. Go through 2. Go through 2. Remember, always use the hook that's recommended for your weight yarn. Always do a swatch test because you will cry if it goes wrong. A lot of work goes into these, but the work's so worth it. So that's how you do it. I'll do another row with you. Bring your yarn forward. This is the border. You find your vertical bar there. You wrap your yarn around and you bring it through. Yarn forward because you had 2. Bring the yarn around and that's your 2 border. You keep your yarn at the back for Tunisian simple stitch. Wrap the yarn around and bring it through. Go through the vertical bar, wrap the yarn round and bring it through. Vertical bar and bring it through. And this is what you do until you get to the next border. 1, 2, 3. Now for the next, you bring the yarn forward, go under the through the vertical bar, wrap the yarn around and bring it through. Do the same again. And then you got to the end, and then you just pick up that one and the chain part to it. There you go. Wrap the yarn around and bring it through. Remember, you never purl the end stitch. You always Tunisian simple stitch. You go through 1. You go through 2 for the rest. Like so. Until you get to the end. Is that 1 or 2? 2. Two. 2. 2. 2. 2. So there you go. That's how you start your blocks off. Now we're going to show you how to cast off. Say you've done all your block and then you carried on and done your border and you said, right, that's it, That's the end of that. Now, to finish it off, you do, the first time you ever do this on this end is you chain one, and then you go into the next vertical bar, wrap your arm around like you're doing a Tunisian simple stitch, put it through and put it through. You're just doing a slip stitch all the way across, vertical bar and slip stitch all the way across, and that's closing that stitch up for you. You have to close the stitch. You'll have to forgive me, I've got really bad hay fever. Just like so, all the way across, going through each vertical bar, wrapping the arm around and pull straight through. You're closing that stitch up. Like so. And then at the end, you can see your chain stitch. Wrap the yarn around, pull through and pull through. And then you just normally finish as you do, cut your ends and sew up. But that's how you do your basic block. Now we're going on to the cross stitching itself. I've got some yarn. I'll work on the piece I'm doing at the moment. Not the white colour yarn. I'm just going to thread me needle. It's a wool needle, as you can see. Oh, wobbling again, I apologise. There we go. So now you've got your vertical bars there. That is the middle of your cross stitch. The cross has to go over the vertical bar, and for you to achieve that without it showing on the back, you're going to do surface cross stitch, and at the outside of every vertical bar you've got like these two loops, two stitches there. I don't know if I can show you this properly, but you just slide it under like so. I'll show you now. And to fasten on, say you start in here and your stitches end here in the same colour, I'll just go under that vertical bar, under that vertical bar, under that vertical bar and under that vertical bar. Pull it through. Till the tail's hid, like so. Nothing's come through on the back, as you can see. And then you always start the same way. You always keep your crocheting, your cross stitching going the same way in uniform. So I always start at the top. There, like so. And then I'll work my way across that way. But when you're going over the first time, going across the first time, you're going to split this yarn, what's underneath, so it keeps it secure. So that yarn isn't going anywhere. Don't pull tight. Worst thing you can do is pull tight, because your wool pulls. So if you've got a tight cross stitch, that's not going anywhere and it'll probably pop or wreck it. So you pull, but don't pull tight, just snug. Go through the next one, splitting the yarn underneath so you've got the yellow attached as well, so it's not going anywhere. So you're hiding the yellow tail and you're catching it to lock it, and you're going through the surface. As you can see, there's nothing on the back. you see? There. Just then that loop there, you're going under there to bring it through. Oh. That'll teach me to look when I only went through one loop. Like so. Don't pull tight because this has got to move with your block. It's wool. Well, acrylic, but you know what I mean. Now to go back, you've got to do your cross. So you're going back up the same loop you've already done. Keeping it surfaced as well, on the top, not underneath. As you can see, nothing's showing through. There you go. And I'm splitting the yarn still as I go. On the first row, I always try and split the yarn as much as I can. So try and catch it with the needle. So it always gives it stability and it won't go anywhere. So you just push that up. Like so. Like so. And on this one I always split the yarn as well. Like so. So now you've got to go up. So all you do is take it underneath and go up. And there you go, you're ready to start your next row. You go under those two, it's like two stitches there, and you just go under the surface. You can't go anywhere else, you just go under the surface to cross that vertical bar, like so. Don't pull tight, we don't want it like that, because that's going nowhere or doing anything. You just need to loosen your grip on it. You can feel when it's snug. You go under. Like so. You go under. Like so. There we go. And there we are. Nothing's showing through. Now to go back, all you do is go through those same loops again. Like so. My hay fever is really bad, I apologise. Like so. Like so. And then you come up to that one. Like so. And now you finish this colour and you think, okay, now I finish this colour, I want to secure it. So what you do now is, that stitch there that goes that way underneath this one, what you've just done, I just take it, split it, and then I go all the way down those surface pockets, those stitches, and I go all the way down. Can't see because you're going down where you've already been, and pull it through. Don't pull too tight, because then you'll ruin the top there. Then you go back up that way where you've already been, because you're securing the yarn this way. It can't unthread, basically, because I've just secured it. I've split the yarn as well. And you pull that a bit tighter, because then you won't see where it goes up that one. Now you just go back down the same one you've come down, but you go a little bit further across, so you're catching the stitches. Like so. And you can't see on the top where you threaded it, where you secured it, and you can't see on the back where you've done anything. But that is now not coming anywhere. That is secure. That's not going anywhere. Then you clip that off, and then you go on to your next bit. And that's how you basically do the cross stitch. And each vertical bar is a stitch on your block. So I hope this helps. If you need any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and we'll see if we can help you. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.